Close your eyes and you could be in a spice bazaar halfway across the world. The heady scents of cumin and paprika, fresh mint and saffron. Welcome to the exotic, delicious world of Moroccan food, where eating is a total sensual experience. Join our food safari to learn the secrets of the perfect couscous. Simple recipes for preserved lemons and harissa, a spicy chicken and olive tagine, the best lamb for the barbie, and how to make the refreshing Moroccan mint tea.
Moroccan food, it's not just sitting and have a meal. It's a leisure thing that we can sit there and talk and have a laugh. Wow. It just gives that warmness and makes the afternoon and the lunch goes beautifully. Yeah.
Wow, so hospitality is the basis of everything you do.
Absolutely.
Casablanca-born restaurateur Omar Majdi grew up in his father's restaurant. Now owns Moroccan restaurant Tagine in Sydney and also enjoys cooking traditional meals at home. Omar, for my Moroccan pantry, what are essential ingredients?
The most traditional ingredient in Moroccan cooking, it's couscous. As in Morocco, we call it a gift from Allah. Because if you start with a handful like this, and by the time you finish with it, it will be fluffy, a beautiful couscous. It's a communal dish, it's a family dish. You get in all together, arm to arms, and you eat with your hand. And that's what couscous is all about. We use a lot of spices in Moroccan cuisines. For instance, saffron, which is like gold.
Oh, it's intense, it's beautiful.
If you put too much of it, it's overpowering. You just have to be very careful with this spice. Cinnamon. Cinnamon, it's very important.
Now, we know this as cassia bark, but you call this cinnamon.
Cinnamon. We use it as a bark, and we use it as ground as well. We buy it as a whole like this, and we just grind it as we go when we need it to keep it fresh, and it's got that power to it as well. We have cumin. Ground or seed. You marinate. If you have a chicken, if you have fish, if you have even dressing that you make as well in your salads. We use a lot of paprika, just sweet paprika. And this is to marinate lamb, fish, you name it. Orange blossom water. We use that to welcome guests and friends when they come to your home. We have these little bottles as people coming into your house. We just give them a little bit in their hand to wash their hands so they can get that fragrance all the evening or the afternoon. Beautiful. And as well, we use it for cooking.
So sweet and savoury,
Sweet and savoury, absolutely. It's a part of the Moroccan culture.
Adding salt to lemons transforms them from an acidic fruit to a mellow, lemony ingredient unique to Moroccan cooking, used for marinades and garnishes. Malika Anaim makes her own every couple of months.
Yeah, you just wash them with water and just rub it like salt. You just cut the lemon by 4 pieces. Keep the lemon whole. Salt.
What sort of salt?
Sea salt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot.
Like this.
So about 2 teaspoons?
Yeah.
How long do they need to sit in the jar?
4 weeks.
4
3
weeks?
weeks
Yeah.
already, but it's more you leave it longer, more it's better.
Yeah. You squeeze it really hard.
Really hard, yeah. Have to squeeze it between, don't clip any room. Just squeeze 1 lemon on the top. The salt on the top, just like that. And you cover it with warm water. That's it. Finished.
But once you seal it, that's it
That's
for
it.
40 days, 40 nights?
Yeah. That's it. Put it away.
Wow.
From the light, just in the cupboard, not in the fridge.
The other essential is the chili paste called harissa, which is served with most meals. You use fresh chilies to make it?
Yes, fresh chilies. Have to be very fresh and shiny like this. These little ones is very hot.
Malika adds chopped bird's eye chilies, preserved lemon, garlic, fresh coriander, ground cumin, salt and olive oil. And adds a little bit more as it blends to a thick paste. Is this going to be too much? Blow my mind? Wow, that's fresh and zingy and hot. And hot! A good tip is to add a layer of olive oil to preserve it. Across Morocco in the villages, women spend hours making the country's great staple, couscous, rubbing fine semolina with superfine semolina to coat it so it resembles a grain. The result when it's steamed is light and fluffy and adored across North Africa. When it's cooked traditionally, couscous is steamed 3 times, usually in a couscousier with meat or vegetables cooking below, the couscous absorbing the fragrant steam wafting up. So you're not following the directions on the pack,
No,
on the instant pack?
no, definitely not. That's sacrilegious to do that.
Sana Zaki simply doesn't have time to roll couscous, juggling 3 children and work as a university professor. So she's developed a cheats version using instant couscous. One of the favourite incarnations of couscous is with 7 vegetables, which are cooked in the bottom part of a steamer in a rich stock. Sana adds swede and parsnips, carrot, zucchini and pumpkin.
And the skin stays on because that keeps its shape.
Tomatoes and frozen broad beans. Then the dry spices, coriander, ground ginger, cumin, paprika and a handful of fresh coriander and parsley.
So while we're waiting for that to start steaming up again, I'll actually prepare the couscous ready for steaming.
The secret
Yep,
Moroccan way.
Yeah. And a little bit of vegetable oil, maybe 2 or 3 tablespoons. And then I just stir that through until the greens are coated in the oil. A teaspoon of salt for a packet of couscous. So I just keep adding water until it looks like it's reached saturation. So you can see that's soaked up, all the water. So put that on. Once it starts steaming through, we can take the lid off. And you can see already it's starting to look very nice and fluffy. And I'll just turn it over. In Morocco, traditionally, they to make it light and fluffy, they'll use what's called smin, and it's sort of like it's almost like a rancid butter. It's a very strong flavour, and it's really nice with couscous. Can't get it in Australia, so what I tend to use is some form of light blue vein, so some Castello or something.
Wow.
And that just adds a little kick to it as well. Makes it very nice.
God, the secrets.
And the idea is to do it while it's still warm, so that it actually melts quickly. And you can smell the Castello coming through. It's really yummy. Yeah. There we go. So I just toss the water on. I just want to make sure I don't drown it. And again, we'll put the lid on. Once it starts steaming through, we can take the lid off. That's looking good. Turn that onto our plate. Because we're all eating communal, we don't want all the pumpkin on one side and all the tomatoes on the other.
Amazing.
Very healthy, doesn't take too long to prepare, and as close to authentic as you can get.
You must be starving.
We always have a salad before the main meal. And there's many salads, but the carrot and orange juice salad, that's probably the simplest, and for me, I think that's the best.
Sarah Anaim is studying for a business degree, but even before she started school, her first lessons were in the kitchen helping her mother and grandmother. Carrot salad is one of her specialties.
So obviously first you get your carrot and just chop them up. Colour is really important in Morocco. It really makes the table look good. Got the next step, which is the oranges. Just squeeze out all the juice. You expect the traditional, you know, with vinegar or sort of a bitter salad. This is quite different, very sweet.
So you use quite a lot of orange in that too?
Yep, it's usually with 1 carrot you'd use 2 oranges, so just double it. With the sugar, us Moroccans once again with the sweet, some rose water, not too much. Lastly, cinnamon. That you could put in about a teaspoon or something. Mix it all together.
Oh, yum.
Good?
Wow. And the most
Sweet.
amazing combination
Yep.
of ingredients. That is fantastic. You can't cook Moroccan food without one of these, the tagine, the famous terracotta cooking pot with its conical lid. Chefs say anything cooked in a tagine tastes absolutely amazing.
It's just a magic dish, but I don't see it only as a look. I see it as a taste, flavor, the aroma that you find in this dish here is absolutely worth investing in it. Every home should have at least one.
Chef Hassan Masouli has been cooking for over 3 decades, learning most of what he knows from his mother and applying the results to the 3 restaurants he's opened in Australia.
Can you cook with them on a barbecue?
In barbecue, great.
Yeah.
In charcoal is great. Flame, lower heat is always great. Electric, I don't recommend it. You always have to be a distance between the fire and the tagine. Tagine need only the heat. That's why it takes time.
So not for the oven.
I want to see the oven, definitely not.
And if you've got something that would sit straight on a heat source, is there something that you do to protect the food?
The best thing I find is celery. To leave that gap, like a line in between. And when you put your chicken or meat, it doesn't allow the chicken to burn.
Do you need to do anything before you start cooking with it?
Definitely. Because talking about earthware, I mean, talking about terracotta. With tagine, definitely have to soak them in overnight. And next day, before you're cooking it, just add some rock salt, water, and for example, like bay leaves. And when it's boiled, you can see that there is a taste of the earth come out from there. After that, you don't need to soak them every night.
That's it?
You know why? Because you're going to cook every night in it.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. Once you've got your tagine, you're going to use it.
You want to cook it every night.
Hassan, tell me about chicken with preserved lemons. Why is it so loved by Moroccan people?
I find that preserved lemon is actually almost creating from the lemon a spice.
And it's almost the national dish, isn't it? Chicken with preserved
I would say second one after couscous, of course, because
Yeah.
otherwise then some Moroccan not going to be happy about that if they see the chicken on. To me, yes.
Yeah.
To me, tagine chicken is really a national dish.
Okay, so you start by doing the chamula?
Yes, chamula is a marinade.
Yeah.
It's main marinade for this chicken. Some garlic. And we got some fresh ginger. And definitely, we're gonna have a preserved lemon.
Now, have you rinsed those?
I will rinse them just in little water. Didn't want to rinse them too much. And we need onion. And that's done. Chili you can use here, depend how much you
So
love
just
it.
half a chili, eh?
Yeah. So 1 spoon of paprika, other spoon of coriander. Cumin is one of the main ingredients too in Morocco. And salt, of course. And little pepper. Okay, we come into the color now. We're gonna use coriander and parsley. Coriander, this is the best part.
Yeah.
The bottom always you have to stay because that's the flavor. Okay, it doesn't have to be too fine. We got saffron here being soaked in water.
And how much saffron would you have put in?
You can just like a pinch enough of saffron. Now it's olive oil. Half cup of olive oil. And bay leaf. This one take always. With bay leaf is just chop them like that in two. We're just gonna put this one in blender if you want. All right, what we got here now, we're just gonna replace this one and put the chicken inside.
And how long should you leave it in the chumula?
Well, I will say overnight, but 2 hours will do.
Once the chicken's marinated, Hassan mixes chopped tomato and onion with a little of the chumula marinade.
And we just put them here in the bottom. And so they give us a little bit liquid and protecting the chicken from not burning too. And we just put them the way we need to see them in the end.
He adds potatoes mixed with a little chumula. Then sliced onion, tomatoes and pitted green olives. He mixes chopped fresh coriander through the remaining chumula, adds a cup of water and pours the mix over the chicken, then garnishes with wedges of preserved lemon.
45 minutes.
That's it?
45 minutes will be done. All right.
Oh, that is beautiful. Wow. I reckon it's the season of the tagine. Whenever you enter a Moroccan home, you'll be offered food within a heartbeat of coming through the door. It's part of the Islamic teaching of making guests welcome. One of the key ways of bestowing hospitality is with mint tea.
I would have Moroccan tea about 4 times a day, and I think it's a better and a healthier replacement for coffee. The tea ceremony itself is a sacred and also artistic form of serving it. It is actually rolled green tea. That's why it's called gunpowder tea. It looks like old gunpowder, old pearl tea. Pour some boiling hot water on top of it. The first layer of the flavour is usually bitter, so we'd like to wash up those leaves and pour that water away. Usually we're very generous with the mint, so we take a bunch of mint and just stuff it in the pot. Another thing that Moroccan likes is sugar.
Oh, that's a fair bit of sugar.
A little bit.
Yeah.
And now we're ready to just pour hot boiling water all the way to the top. The secret is never to stir the pot with a spoon, but to actually pour a couple of glasses and then pour them back into the pot without stirring. That allows the flavors to walk through the pot. And now we're ready to serve it. And there is an art form as well to pour in Moroccan tea. The highest, the better.
Wow.
We say Bismillah and
Bismillah.
Yes.
Bismillah. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Beautiful. 4 a day.
Yes.
I'd be more, I think.
Very healthy for you.
Chef Aziz Bakala grew up in North Morocco and fondly remembers a warm dip called bissara as both comfort food and a good source of protein.
Basically, all we need is a split baby fava beans, flavored with some cumin, garlic and olive oil. Simple as that.
So it's good for you and yummy.
Very good for you and yummy.
Aziz begins by frying garlic in olive oil.
I just love the smell of olive oil and garlic.
Yeah.
Adds a generous amount of cumin and 2 cups of split baby fava beans. He then adds about 6 cups of water.
What we'll do now, we'll cover it up and bring it up to the boil, and then we'll watch it if it needs more water or not. We can see it starting to disintegrate now. And This will thicken and will be very velvety later on. So we're now going to add the salt, white pepper, whisk that in a bit. Thick pea soup like your mum used to make. I use the bisara beans. And to this, we now add a little cumin as a garnish, a little bit of paprika. Just put a little bit of black olive on top and a little drizzle of olive oil on top. Simple as that.
Eaten warm, so I guess one shouldn't wait.
No, we shouldn't wait. So nice.
I could eat a lot of that.
Yep.
In a cuisine where many people don't have an oven, much of the food is cooked over charcoal, which gives an even, gentle heat. One of the most popular meats is lamb, used in tagines, as brochettes, or simply marinated and cooked on the barbie. Something Aziz believes should be the flavour of summer in Australia.
So this is the lamb back straps. Just cut it into strips so that we can grill them. So 3 strips, another one. So we take the cumin. This is cumin, just a sprinkle. I love cumin, so I'm generous with it. But again, paprika, salt, and 2 tablespoons of garlic. Some black pepper is good. And a little bit of coriander. And a little bit of parsley. Okay. Lemon juice.
Okay.
And olive oil is always good to help blend the spices into the meat. Just brings out, oh, beautiful aroma already. So now I'm just gonna...
Just a little bit of olive oil.
Yeah. Okay, just mix everything together with your hand. Basically, just put the meat on. And you can smell now the marriage of paprika, cumin, and beautiful. And it's just really transported you back to Morocco.
Yeah, it's
really,
great. Oh.
Just the color. That's a beautiful color. Only a little bit of oil. Yeah, it's beautiful. It's ready to serve now. And there you are.
Wow.
The minted yogurt is delicious. Melts in your mouth.
That is stunning. Takes me back to Morocco. Thank you.
Definitely. My pleasure.
I think sweets is the main thing. It's all about the sweets. You have your breakfast, and then you have your tea with your sweets, then you have your lunch, and then you have your tea with the sweets, and then you have your dinner, and then you have your tea with your sweets. It's always the tea and the sweets.
During Ramadan, even more sweets are consumed to help the energy levels of people fasting. Traditionally, the fast is broken at sunset with a date and then a special biscuit called shabakia, a rosewater-scented pastry fried and immersed in a sugar syrup and sprinkled with sesame seeds. Fruit is also very popular in Morocco. It's served with a sweet spiced syrup, and Omar Majdi says this is a great way of getting children used to Moroccan spicing.
You like that one? Yeah. Cup of water to boil. You just put cinnamon, the orange blossom water. Of course, we gotta add some sugar. And the juice of half lemon.
How long should you be cooking?
I would say 10 minutes. And then we just let it cool down for a little while.
Fantastic.
Like? What do you think?
Beautiful. I think it's an absolute winner.
Thank you.
On our next safari,